My name is Meredith, and I'm 62 years old. I live in a quiet neighborhood in Portland, Oregon, where the rain taps gently against my windows most mornings, and the smell of fresh coffee from the corner cafe drifts through the streets. I've spent the last 30 years working as a financial advisor, building a comfortable life for myself after my divorce. My days are simple now: morning walks, reading in my favorite armchair, and occasional dinners with friends. But the one constant in my life has always been my younger sister, Caroline. Caroline is 57, and we couldn't be more different. Where I've always been practical and reserved, she's vibrant and impulsive, always chasing the next big moment. She lives in Seattle with her daughter, my niece Jessica, who just turned 28. Jessica inherited her mother's flair for drama and love of attention. Over the years, I watched her grow from a sweet little girl into a woman who seemed to measure her worth by social media likes and Instagram stories. When the cream-colored envelope arrived at my doorstep on a gray October morning, I knew immediately what it was. The embossed gold lettering spelled out Jessica's name alongside her fiancé Brandon's. I smiled, genuinely happy for her. I remembered her as a child, playing dress-up in my living room, pretending to be a bride. Now that dream was becoming real. I opened the invitation carefully, admiring the elegant design. The wedding was scheduled for March 15th at a luxury vineyard in Willamette Valley, about an hour south of Portland. It promised to be a grand affair: cocktail hour, 5-course dinner, live band, the works. My smile grew wider as I imagined Jessica finally settling down with someone who made her happy. That same afternoon, my phone rang. Caroline's name flashed across the screen. "Meredith, did you get the invitation?" Her voice bubbled with excitement. "Just opened it this morning. It's beautiful, Caroline. Jessica must be over the moon." "Oh, she is. She's been planning every detail for months. The venue alone cost a fortune, but we wanted everything to be perfect for her special day." Caroline's tone carried that familiar note of pride mixed with something else. Maybe stress, maybe worry. "I'm sure it'll be wonderful," I said warmly. "How can I help? Do you need anything?" There was a pause, just long enough to make me notice. "Well, actually, Meredith, there is something. Jessica's wedding is expensive, more expensive than we anticipated. Brandon's family is contributing, but we're still short. I hate to ask, but would you consider helping us out? Maybe with the catering or the flowers?" I didn't hesitate. "Of course, Caroline. Family helps family. How much do you need?" Another pause. "About $40,000. I nearly dropped my phone. 40,000 was no small amount, but I had savings, investments that had done well over the years. And this was Jessica's wedding, a once-in-a-lifetime event. Give me a few days to arrange things, but yes, I can help." Caroline's relief was audible. "Oh, Meredith, thank you. You don't know what this means to us. Jessica will be so grateful. You're the best sister anyone could ask for." We talked for another 20 minutes about the wedding details: the dress, the guest list, the decorations. Caroline painted a picture of elegance and sophistication, and I felt honored to be part of making it happen. When we hung up, I sat by my window, watching the rain streak down the glass, feeling good about my decision. The months leading up to the wedding passed quickly. I transferred the money in 2 installments, watching my savings account shrink, but feeling no regret. Caroline sent me occasional updates: photos of the venue being decorated, Jessica's final dress fitting, sample menus from the caterer. Everything looked magnificent. A week before the wedding, I received a text from Caroline with a photo attached. It showed the seating chart for the reception. I zoomed in, curious to see where I'd be sitting, expecting to find myself at the family table near the front. My stomach dropped. There, in the very back row, in the corner near the kitchen doors, was my name, Meredith Sullivan. Seated at table 23 with people I'd never heard of, distant cousins of Brandon's family according to the labels. I stared at my phone, convinced there was a mistake. I texted Caroline immediately. "Got the seating chart. I think there's an error with my placement." 3 dots appeared, then disappeared, then appeared again. Finally, her response came through. "Oh, that. Jessica wanted to mix people up, make it fun and unexpected. Don't worry, you'll have a great time." Mix people up? I'd contributed $40,000 to this wedding. I'd essentially paid for the entire reception, and I was seated in the back corner like an afterthought. My hands trembled as I typed back. "Caroline, I funded most of this wedding. This feels disrespectful. The 3 dots appeared and stayed for what felt like forever. Then, Meredith, don't make this about money. Jessica worked hard on the seating arrangements. It's her day. Please don't create drama. I set my phone down, feeling like I'd been slapped. Create drama? I'd given them $40,000 without asking for anything in return, and now I was being told not to complain about being treated like a stranger at my own niece's wedding. The rain outside had turned heavy, matching the storm brewing inside me. I paced my living room, trying to make sense of it. Why would Jessica do this? Why would Caroline defend it? Did they think I wouldn't notice? Or worse, did they simply not care? That night, I barely slept. I kept replaying Caroline's words, feeling the sting deepen with each repetition. By morning, I'd made a decision. I needed to understand what was really happening, but I wasn't going to beg for respect. I'd attend the wedding, sit in the back row if that's where they wanted me, and observe. But I also started making phone calls. The morning of the wedding dawned clear and bright, a rare sunny day in Oregon. I dressed carefully in an elegant navy dress and drove to the vineyard, my emotions carefully controlled beneath a calm exterior. The venue was stunning, with rolling hills of grapevines stretching in every direction and Mount Hood visible in the distance. White tents billowed gently in the breeze, and thousands of flowers created cascades of color. I arrived early and found table 23. It was exactly where the chart had shown, tucked in the far back corner, partially hidden by a decorative screen, with a view mostly blocked by a large speaker system. The irony wasn't lost on me. The woman who paid for all this beauty couldn't even see it properly. I sat down, forcing a smile as my table mates arrived. They were pleasant enough, Brandon's second cousins from California who barely knew the couple. They made small talk about the weather and their flight, unaware of the turmoil churning inside me. The ceremony was beautiful. Jessica looked radiant in her gown, the one I'd helped pay for, as she walked down an aisle lined with roses that I'd helped pay for, toward an altar decorated with orchids that I'd also helped pay for. I felt tears prick my eyes, but they weren't entirely tears of joy. After the ceremony, during the cocktail hour, I spotted Caroline near the bar. She was laughing with a group of friends, champagne glass in hand, looking carefree. I approached quietly. "Caroline, can we talk?" She turned, her smile faltering slightly. "Oh, Meredith, isn't everything beautiful?" "Jessica's so happy." "It is beautiful." The $40,000 was well spent. Her expression shifted, uncomfortable now. "Meredith, please, not here." "Then where? When?" "You've been avoiding this conversation for a week." She glanced around, then pulled me slightly aside. "What do you want me to say?" Jessica made the seating chart. She wanted her friends and Brandon's important family members up front. "Your family? You understand, right?" "I understand that I'm being treated like I don't matter. After everything I did." Caroline's jaw tightened. "You offered that money freely. Nobody forced you. You asked me for help, and I gave it. I didn't ask for special treatment, but I also didn't expect to be hidden in the back like an embarrassment." "You're being dramatic. It's just a seat." "It's not just a seat, Caroline. It's a statement about how you and Jessica see me. And apparently, my value stops at my bank account." Her eyes flashed with anger. "You're ruining her day. Can't you just be happy for once without making everything about you?" The words hit like ice water. Making everything about me? I'd sacrificed my savings, never complained, never asked for recognition, and now I was selfish for wanting basic respect? "I need some air," I said quietly, and walked away before she could respond. I found myself wandering the vineyard grounds, trying to process everything. How had it come to this? When had my relationship with my sister and niece deteriorated to the point where generosity was expected, but appreciation was optional? That's when I ran into Margaret, an old colleague from my financial advising days. She was a guest through Brandon's family. "Meredith, what a surprise seeing you here. Isn't this wedding incredible?" "Jessica's parents must have spent a fortune." I managed a weak smile. "Actually, I contributed quite a bit." Margaret's eyes widened. "Really? That's generous. I bet they're so grateful. Where are you sitting?" "I'm at table 5, right behind the bride's parents." "Table 23. Her confusion was evident. That's in the very back. That's usually for +1s and distant acquaintances." She paused, understanding dawning. "Oh, Meredith." Her sympathy broke something in me. I told her everything. The $40,000, the back row seating, Caroline's dismissive response. Margaret listened, her expression growing increasingly angry on my behalf. "That's unacceptable," she said firmly. "You deserve better than this." Margaret's words gave me strength. I realized I'd been so focused on being the supportive sister and aunt that I'd forgotten to stand up for myself. I'd let them take advantage of my generosity because I didn't want to rock the boat, didn't want to be seen as difficult. But being kind didn't mean being a doormat. During dinner, from my corner table, I watched Jessica and Brandon make their toasts, cut their cake, share their first dance, all funded by money I'd given freely, but which had apparently purchased me nothing but disrespect. The food was excellent, the band was wonderful, and the happiness on Jessica's face was genuine. But none of it warmed the cold feeling settling in my chest. As the evening wore on, Jessica made her rounds, greeting guests at each table. When she finally reached table 23, last of course, her smile was bright but impersonal. "Thank you all so much for coming," she gushed to the group. "Jessica," I said quietly, "could I speak with you for a moment?" Something in my tone made her pause. "Sure, Aunt Meredith. Is everything okay?" We stepped aside from the table. The music and laughter created a bubble around us. "I need you to understand something," I began, keeping my voice steady. "I gave your mother $40,000 to help make this wedding happen. I did it out of love, without expecting anything in return. But seating me in the back row, treating me like a stranger, that hurt deeply." Jessica's face flushed. "Aunt Meredith, it wasn't personal. I just had to fit everyone in and—" "It was personal, Jessica. You put friends and distant relatives ahead of the person who made most of this possible. You and your mother took my generosity for granted. I know you probably didn't think about it that way, but that's the problem. You didn't think about me at all." Tears welled in Jessica's eyes. "I'm sorry. I really am. I got so caught up in planning and making everything perfect that I lost sight of what really mattered. You've always been there for me, and I treated you like you didn't matter." Her genuine remorse softened something in me. "I'm not telling you this to ruin your day, but I need you to understand that kindness and generosity shouldn't be taken for granted. Money isn't love, but how you treat the people who help you says everything about your character." Jessica nodded, wiping her eyes carefully to preserve her makeup. "You're right. I'm so sorry, Aunt Meredith. Thank you for everything you did. I don't deserve it, but I'm grateful." We hugged, and I felt some of the tension release. Jessica immediately asked the coordinator to add a chair for me at the family table, insisting I move up front for the rest of the reception. I declined, not out of spite, but because I'd made my point and didn't need the gesture now. Later, Caroline found me by the dessert table. Her earlier defensiveness had transformed into something more vulnerable. "Jessica told me what you said to her," she began. "And you're right. We took advantage of your kindness. I was so stressed about money and making everything perfect that I forgot the most important thing, treating you with the respect and love you deserve. I didn't give you that money to buy gratitude, Caroline, but I also didn't give it to be dismissed. I know. I'm sorry, Meredith. Truly." She paused, choosing her words carefully. "You've always been the strong one, the reliable one. Sometimes I think I forget that you have feelings too, that you need to feel valued just like everyone else." It wasn't a perfect apology, but it was honest. I do have feelings, and I'm tired of being the person everyone can count on, but nobody thinks to appreciate. "That changes now," Caroline said firmly. Starting today, I wanted to believe her. Time would tell if the words translated into action, but at least we'd had the conversation. At least I'd spoken my truth. As I drove home that night, the lights of Portland twinkling below as I descended from the valley, I felt different, lighter somehow. I'd stood up for myself in a situation where it would have been easier to stay silent. I'd insisted on being treated with dignity, even when it made others uncomfortable. The next morning, I woke to a text from Jessica. It was a photo of us from the wedding, one I hadn't realized was taken. Jessica hugging me after our conversation, genuine emotion on both our faces. The message read, "Thank you for loving me enough to tell me the truth, and thank you for everything. I'll spend the rest of my life proving I'm worthy of having you as my aunt." Attached was a second message, a Venmo request, for $0, with a note. "Can't repay your generosity in money, but starting a fund to take you on that trip to Italy you've always talked about. First deposit coming next week. Love you." I smiled, tears forming. It wasn't about the money or the trip. It was about finally being seen, being valued, being treated like I mattered. My phone rang. Caroline's name appeared on the screen. "Good morning," I answered. "Good morning. I couldn't sleep last night thinking about everything. Can I take you to breakfast? There's so much I want to say." I looked out my window at the Portland morning, rain beginning to fall again in that familiar, comforting way. "I'd like that," I said. As I got ready, I realized something important. Standing up for yourself doesn't destroy relationships. It transforms them. It replaces obligation with genuine appreciation, assumption with understanding. I'd spent so many years being the dependable sister, the generous aunt, that I'd forgotten to also be a person with needs and feelings that deserved respect. That breakfast with Caroline was the first of many honest conversations. We rebuilt our relationship on a foundation of mutual respect rather than one-sided giving. Jessica followed through on her promises, not just with the Italy trip fund, but with regular calls, visits, and the kind of attention that showed she'd truly learned something from our wedding night conversation. I'm 62 years old, and I've learned that sometimes the greatest gift you can give yourself is the courage to demand the respect you deserve. Not aggressively, not cruelly, but firmly and with clear boundaries. Because true family, true love, isn't measured by what you're willing to tolerate. It's measured by how you treat each other when no one's watching, when there's nothing to gain except the preservation of dignity and connection. The back row seat at Jessica's wedding became an unexpected gift, a catalyst that forced necessary conversations and created space for genuine growth. Sometimes being pushed to the margins is exactly what you need to recognize that you deserve to be at the center of your own life, valued and respected. And now, finally, I am.